And
Dr. Heckendorn, what are you doing?
my God, this is the only way to make it live. That was more of a Sean Connery than Bones McCoy. I am the last one.
So I heard you sometimes use super glue to manage your small cuts and lacerations.
Yeah, like this one. This was incurred. That was actually the deepest cut I've ever gotten in my shop, and it was off a staple from a bag of food. Because I was crunching it up to put it in the garbage, and the staple went like... I had to put like half a bottle of super glue on to get it to stop bleeding. It was pretty gross. But
as your non-doctor, I cannot condone this. But interestingly enough, Dermabond, which was based on super glue, works in a remarkably similar fashion. Ben, while we're standing here bonding like two men over this sanitizing device, I have a secret, and I was hoping to share it with you.
Okay.
This is difficult for me, but the first Star Trek movie, Star Trek the Motion Picture, was my favorite.
Really? That is a very brave thing to say. Have you been keeping the secret inside you all these years?
33 years! Actually, no. I think I saw it when I was...
the movie's only 32 years old. Because I was, what, 79?
It was 79. Yeah, I was 2. So 30 hard years. And
so so you don't find it to be a bloated ripoff of 2001?
Hells no, but largely
with really
because,
weird costumes?
Well, I guess back at the day when I was watching it, the concept of Voyager kind of leaving our system and going to parts unknown, that was really cool. And the concept of Voyager turning into Voyager after being adopted by a sentient machine race, that could still happen, Benjamin.
Well, Voyager, at that time, Voyager was only about 3 years old. It had been launched in, 1976, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that was a very new probe, and I don't think it had even reached the gas giant planets at that time. And it's still working today, and it's estimated to continue working until, about 2020. The radio decay isotope generators should have enough power. They've shut off most of the experiments, but some of them are still on. I think it did finally read 0 on the solar wind detectors. My point is, the fact that the movie talked about Voyager lasting for hundreds of years is interesting because it is lasting a long time.
Correct.
And it has the Voyager interstellar record on the side of it.
Oh yes, the gold LP,
and which has
super cool.
Yes, which has all that stuff where you can play the record, and the time reference is based off the hydrogen atom oscillation.
Cool.
But anyway, my point is, so if a sentient robot race or whatever picks it up in the future, all that data, the location of Earth, is on there too, so they could actually send it back. So it is based off, in reality.
I'm very afraid now.
Well, no, it's true. If you look it up, the interstellar record has the location of Earth in relation to the rest of the universe and whatnot. It has all sorts of stuff. It has human sounds. It has depictions of pictures. It has color.
I think it has some Beethoven in there.
Yes, it's a record, right? And
yes.
A lot of people think it's a CED,
which
was a video record device made by RCA in the 70s, but it's not. It's actually just a regular vinyl record. However, there's data encoded in it, basically in analog form, as well as a record. And so there's a stylus, so the aliens can take the stylus and play it. And there's instructions that tell them how fast to rotate it as well. And
apparently, contrary to popular belief, Michael Jackson's Thriller is not on the record.
Well, it hadn't been released yet.
I knew that.
Michael Jackson. I think Michael Jackson at that time was probably only 12, so he probably had only released 5 albums by that time.
But riddle me this. Just imagine if it was on there. What would our bleak future look like then?
Yes, NASA should obviously include that in all future probes.
Voyager would come back and make us all wear white gloves.
Well,
or
they put a jagged little pill on there.
Oh. Well, basically, everyone remembers Charles Lindbergh for the Spirit of St. Louis and flying across the ocean.
And the kidnapped baby.
And that's true, the Lindbergh baby. But what people don't know about Lindbergh or know less about Lindbergh is the fact that he made a number of huge contributions to medical science. He developed basically a pump that keeps organs ambient and alive. So when you do kidney transplants, actually, his sister had polio, and when she needed heart surgery, the surgeons came to him saying, unfortunately she's going to die. We don't have a mechanism of keeping her alive while we do the surgery while the heart's not beating. And he's like, I can build one. And so he, he applies his
I've never heard that before. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude.
So what was he must have had a background in engineering or just from fixing planes?
Huge background in engineering and fluid mechanics, pressure mechanics.
So he was like a real Tony Stark.
He was the original Iron Man because like he would only basically fly in machines that he built, and he knew every single nut and bolt was in the right place, and so there was a doctor. I think the doctor's name was Dr. Carell. He shared the cover of Time magazine with for developing this technology that keeps organs alive. And so when you have a kidney transplant, you can keep a kidney for alive as long as 4 days because of Lindbergh's.
So how does it keep the kidney alive?
By keeping it constantly perfused with a head of pressure, using an ambient fluid to keep it oxygenated, etc.
So basically it simulates it being in the body?
This is it. So a little nugget about Charles Lindbergh for you.
So thank an engineer today. Okay, Aaron, I said what my favorite Star Trek movies are. Okay, we need to hear your favorite Star Trek movies in order for me to finish this.
Oh, God.
It's one of my conditions.
So really, you'll stop working on this and people may die in hospitals?
Yep, unless you tell me what your favorite Star Trek movies are in order.
Okay, well, I guess I told you one. That's my private shame. I really enjoyed Undiscovered Country. And then after that, things become blurry. There's something about nexuses and generations, and my head hurts. Can we stop talking now?
Oh, that thing needs to be dumped. All right. Oh, yeah, see?
Ready? Go.
Whoa!
Yes! Okay, now.
You need to come over here and wash your hands. I really think you should come over here and take a stress pill and wash your hands and think about what you are doing. Please wash your hands. It will only take a moment and the world will thank you for it. Let me ask you something. How many hours per night do you spend watching television? 1, 3, 8? If you can do that, why not spend 10 seconds washing your hands? That's what I thought. I give up. You obviously do not care about hand hygiene. Let me put it to you this way. What if you were alive during the Black Plague? You wouldn't be alive. Remember that when you are dead. Goodbye.